Breaking just moments ago, NBC News has learned that Donald Trump's acting Deputy Attorney General, Emil Bove, is in Chicago this morning to oversee what the Justice Department is calling, quote, DHS immigration enforcement operations. Now, it's not clear why Bove is taking part in the matter, but we're going to find out. MSNBC contributor Paola Ramos joins us now. She's the author of Defectors, The Rise of the Latino Far Right and What It Means for America. Folks, this is a great book, by the way.
Honestly.
Just wanted to say, put that on the table.
Honestly, this is the book. And to just give people a taste, Pal, she interviewed a number of pardoned January 6th defendants. I saw a number of the interviews you did, but we want to play right now your interview with Gabriel Garcia in Miami.
The last time you and I talked, you said, I regret going that day, and you said if I could have, I would have never gone to Washington, D.C.
Yeah, no,
did you mean that?
No, I didn't mean it.
You didn't mean
Absolutely not. I'll go again 100%.
You would?
Yes.
Pal, what's going on?
Look, they feel emboldened. They feel empowered. Someone like Gabriel Garcia, also who is friends with Enrique Tarrio, of course, the former chairman of the Proud Boys. And I have to note, both of them specifically want to now be called as current members of the Proud Boys. And so I think in a place like Miami, which is where we shot that interview, they're literally being welcomed and seen as heroes, right? Not just as these political prisoners that were just released, but I think in a place like Miami-Dade County, which is where they are, they're specifically seen as these anti-communist heroes. I think the danger there is that it validates the very reason why people like Gabriel Garcia or Enrique Tarrio initially sort of were associated with January 6th. Because both of those men were really driven by this belief that the Capitol was being taken over by a communist regime. And so to now have them released just validates the very same and dangerous paranoia that drove them there. And so it was pretty remarkable to see how they are now being seen as heroes in Trump's America.
I see many ties between this and the immigration stories that you have been reporting on, including the breaking news that we have. I mean, on one hand, you have Donald Trump talking about the criminality of immigrants in this country, when in reality, he just pardoned 1,500 convicted criminals. You also have the fact that, as you just said, he deputized these folks to go to the Capitol, and now he is deputizing folks in the DOJ and elsewhere to be in charge of immigration. Talk to me about that deputization.
Yeah, I mean, I think the heart of Trump's plan is to deputize his militia, his supporters, local law enforcement, DHS in this specific example, to carry out his mass deportation plans. But I think to your point, the through line between these January 6th defendants and what's going on at the border is that over half of this country's population believes that there's an invasion at the southern border. And they inherently believe that undocumented immigrants are criminals. And everything is on the table to justify every single plan, whether that means that releasing people like Gabriel Garcia or Enrique Tarrio calls for a safer America. That idea of an invasion at the southern border justifies every single action. And another thing that I always think about is so many of the folks that went to January 6th were driven by one specific thing, and that is also the great replacement theory, right? One of the through lines of the majority of those people, and the University of Chicago did an incredible story, and they found that overwhelmingly, the majority of people that went there were driven by that belief. So I think part of the moment we're in is recognizing that this conspiracy theory of an invasion is the heart of what is driving immigration policy in this country.
Paula, I want to go back to your first point. I'm sorry. Help me understand who are the folks out here who believe that this is a communist country and that these two individuals are the champions that are going to defend us from communism in the United States. Where the hell were they born and raised? Did they grow up here? Or did they immigrate here? And if they immigrated here, what brought them here? Would they come with their parents? I mean, this sort of, latching on to communism for your racism, and for the fact that at the end of the day, both of these individuals would have their asses kicked out of the country if white folks had their way. So I don't understand. Help me connect that dot, please, because I'm right now quietly losing it.
I'll try to explain it. Alicia and I talk about this all the time as to Cuban Americans, but I think we know that Republicans have done a brilliant job at exploiting the very real fear that a lot of Cuban American exiles and Venezuelan exiles carry in a place like Miami-Dade County because of the political trauma of what it means to flee from these communist regimes. And so then within that, if you understand that, within that story, people like Enrique Tarrio and Gabriel Garcia, the two January 6 defendants, people like them are then cast as these political prisoners within this story of the Democratic Party and sort of institutionalizing communism in this country. And so I think you and I can sort of dismiss that. You know, we can laugh about that. We know that it's factually incorrect. The problem, though, is when that exploitation of fear that Republicans do quickly turns into paranoia, and then it quickly turns into violence. To give you another example, and Alicia and I talk about this all the time, like someone like Enrique Tarrio is often seen on the streets with patches that say right-wing death squads. Now, right-wing death squads is a reference to Chilean dictator Pinochet. Pinochet in Chile justified violence in the name of getting rid of communism in Chile. So I mention this because those are the folks that are inspiring a lot of the Proud Boys in Miami, all in the name of ridding the West from communism. And so the problem is that that paranoia is now, once again, being validated. Not justifying it, but it's real. People feel that.
That's why people got to get Powell's book.
Yeah, you got to get the book to help contextualize this. Paula Ramos, thank you.
Thank you.
It's so great to have you on.